the game.
Not that's the first thing live stream.
Incredible. Incredible.
Oh, I can
Live
answer.
stream has just been blessed. I don't know what you're talking about. And it did play. And it did play. I have it in the background. That was in fact the first thing that played.
That's gotta be an episode. That's gotta be an episode.
I'm not giving myself an episode quote.
You
Anyways, Billy, you're good.
All right, is everyone here?
Has Jeff Probst got an episode quote? I think he has.
Yeah. Okay. Are the other two people not coming?
I don't think Rachel can, and I don't know about Alex.
Yeah, that's where
Alex has been like gone all day.
That's why I'm trying to make sure.
I'm pretty sure Rachel's like actually physically at work right now.
No, we're good.
And like saving children's lives, so priorities.
All right, we're good. Am I good to run, Seb?
Yes.
Okay, well, surprise, surprise. I am Miss Grace. I am tribal council. Question today.
Oh god.
Hey, Miss Grace.
So, precursor, just letting you guys know, I did let the other tribe know where they stood. You guys are the second tribe going, so they've already went. So after this, you guys will know who has been voted off. Please, they've been instructed not to say anything or anything like that. Also, you guys can't say anything either or try and look or anything because you guys are at tribal council. So, all right, let's start off from the top. Wesley, the challenge was greed. You take the necklace, you're safe, you send your tribe to tribal. No one decided to do that. Do you think someone here is going to end up regretting that decision?
I mean, strictly speaking, they would survive at least one more round, no matter what. Like, one person from each tribe is going to say they could survive one more round if they took it. But like, it's kind of the weird hindsight of 2020 thing. We didn't even know we were swapping going into the greed. But like, two people are going to regret in the back of their head following Tate McRae's, whatever her name is, advice and not being greedy.
No, that song is about her being greedy.
But the song says, "Don't be greedy."
We'll get there eventually.
All right, so Brandon, it was touched on that you guys didn't know we were swapping after the greed. So, how are the vibes around camp? You guys have had 48 hours to kind of talk and get to know your new tribe mates and all that jazz. So, how are things going?
I have to say thank you for the break day for my mental health because I was able to sleep in and do nothing. Let's be real here. It fucking sucks because be blunt from a numbers perspective, it don't look good. It don't look good in the slightest. So if worry, shock, awe, terror, how many other words of I'm freaking the fuck out internally do you want me to say? Because I can go through the list. I can pull up the is it the dictionary? The thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
Thesaurus. Thank you. I will pull that up.
So Al, is Brandon right? Like, this is just a numbers game, and I'm sorry, you guys ended up on the wrong side of the numbers.
In theory,
Practically?
sure. I think that what do I think? I accidentally took my meds twice today. So, and now I'm drinking wine. So like I'm super on top of my game. I numbers, there are numbers. There are people on this tribe. And I think that the idea that numbers are the only thing that matter is a dangerous way to play this game, because the second you think it's all about numbers, you go home. Like it's super easy to blindside someone when, like, as somebody who's been blindsided thinking you have the numbers and then you don't. So numbers are only as good as the current permutation of the tribe. Like it does, like original tribes, they matter, but if you put too much stake in original tribes and you don't consider other possibilities, then you could be going home. I don't know if any of that made sense. I could have been speaking like fucking Greek. I just brain.
So here at Distortion Survivor, we don't recommend overdosing on your drugs.
My psychiatrist said just don't take them tomorrow. So like I'm in contact with the doctor. We're good. It's anybody who's concerned, don't be. Dr. Hemanth said we're good. Navina is a dear.
So, Jared, Al says the numbers, even though they may look one way, it isn't that way. So let's put it on the other end. You're on the tribe that's in the supposed minority. Is that how you feel?
I mean, at times it has, but it's all about the conversations you can have with people. Because at the end of the day, like original tribe numbers don't, as Al said, like they don't matter because in reality, it only works out for a couple of people. So you have to think about long term and how these people in the game can affect your game. And if it's beneficial to vote out someone from your own tribe, then you probably should. But you really have to look at your game and how big of waves you want to make. But at times, for us, it's looked like we have been the minority, but I think they say it like in Survivor, the pendulum is always swinging.
Nick, how important is actually going to tribal council? You have only been OG tribe has only been able to test the bonds, test the waters one time, while Rodeo has been able to test it 3 times. Is the common age-old question, is testing the waters better or worse moving forward?
I think like it depends. Because going to tribal a bunch is like a really slippery slope where like you do end up in scenarios where on paper you're in a minority. But also going to tribal a bunch solidifies bonds and gets you able to have those conversations that maybe like Brandon, Rachel, and Jared might have had conversations that none of the rest of us have had because we've just been to one tribal at the very beginning of the game. It was the first vote. There was nothing to base it on. They might have had conversations that were more, but also we have the benefit of like, we didn't have to vote anybody off. We didn't have to like be nervous about going home. And so it's just like a balance of trying to find like having those conversations and being able to have those conversations while also not always feeling like I'm going home all the time.
Trevor, how important is this vote for the rest of the game moving forward? I'm just assuming Trevor's typing. We can't hear you if you're speaking.
Oh,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I was coughing. Was that question for me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
I can repeat it. I said, Trevor, how important is this specific vote for the rest of the game moving forward for you and for this tribe?
Do you ask that question for every tribal council?
I don't ask
Because
council.
I feel like that's a pretty common question.
Would you
I
want a
mean-
more justified question? I can give you another one.
Yeah, give me another one. I'll
Okay.
re-roll the dice.
Fine. So, Trevor, moving forward, the shot in the dark is something that you guys can always be playing at any time. Is there any benefit to possibly playing it on these new swap tribes, or are you here to test the relationships that you are trying to build within a 48-hour period?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I think based on what Nick said tonight too, I think it could absolutely be played. You have completely new relations to talk about. You've lost relations on the other tribe too. You might feel less secure. You might feel more secure if you were in a shit spot. but I would not be surprised if the other tribe has used Shot in the Dark if one's played at any tribal council before merge. I forget when they expire, but like I could see Shot in the Dark being used pre-merge, for sure, because you getting to merge is a big accomplishment, especially on an all-star season. So people are going to get desperate and try to make that happen.
So this is going to be a more public question. I'm going to piggyback off what Trevor said. This is an all-star season. Does that change the way you possibly play, or do you guys look at this as just another season of distortion? Like, do you rely on previous relationships that you made in previous seasons? Do you try to forge out and make new ones? Do you rely on previous connections that might not be connected to Distortion Survivor? Because this is not a game. This is not like you guys were meeting for the first time. Like, there are more. It's more ambiguous than that.
I'll say for me, sorry to cut you off, Wesley. For me, I try to ignore those factors and just try to focus on the game at hand. Like I don't care if you won last time. I don't care if you were runner up by 1 vote. I don't care what position you got. It really is like your relationship to this game right now and how we can connect, because all those additional factors, like they might cloud your judgment, but you really have to judge it based off of if this person is connecting with you now. And I mean, from my conversation, it sounds like people are also excluding those external factors, because it's like, yeah, we're all stars, we all deserve to be here, so let's just play this game that we have and not allow all these outside influences.
Yeah, if I can comment a little bit, I actually share a lot of the same sentiments. Like we all came back because we're icons. That's really what it is. We all did really well our initial season. Some of us were on prods. Some of us even won. So going to the game, I understand it can be easy to be like, oh, this person won. But let's be real here again. And I said this before: we're playing for $100 in the fucking buff. We're not playing for $1 million. Like, at the end of the day, the most we can do is just stay true to ourselves, I guess, and like. I don't know. Everyone is on even playing field. Whether you did really well in your initial season, whether you didn't do very well in your initial season, then came back and did really well. Like, everyone's on an even playing field. I know how it looks like because like 3 winners were a part of the first like 5 boots. I understand why people might think that, but we're all generally just on an even playing field, and I like to think of it that way.
Okay. I have nothing more to say. Basically, I'm just going to say this. The main differences between an all-star game and a non-all-star game in open ID calling is because 90% of the cast is people you kind of know if you play long enough. It's just that it's a slightly higher skilled average cast, and also like a lower ratio of people who haven't played as much. So it's just a difficulty levels ramped up, but it's not like extremely difficult different from a standard game as is with the case of the actual show. So just always keep in mind.
I am out of questions because Trevor made me ask my extra one. So,
Shout out to Zoom for kicking me for crashing my phone. And I left.
So, Seb, I know you have 2 darling questions that you would like to ask.
Of course, I am now Miss Grace. First question, raise your hand if you feel that tonight is your last night in Distortion Survivor All-Stars.
I raised my hand so fucking high in the air right now. My camera is broken, but yeah.
Are you saying your camera's broken, or you're raising your
Did
hand
you
so
break
high
your
because
camera?
it's
fucking weird.
Did you
I
break
have
your
a
camera
Chromebook, it's
during
fucking weird.
Tribal?
What?
Did you break your camera during Tribal?
No, it's been like this. I have a Chromebook. It's fucking stupid, but I'm raising my hand.
Okay, I thought you were saying you raised your hand so high you broke your camera. Anyways, raise your hand, or not raise your hand. Oh my god. If you could compare this round to a Hollywood blockbuster or a movie, what would you compare it to?
I don't know any westerns, but my gut is going to. I'll just name the one western I kind of think of, even though it's probably like not like that at all. The good, bad, and the ugly.
A Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
We've used that before. It's a great one to use.
All right.
Paw Patrol, the Mighty movie.
No, let's talk about that though.
Anyways, it is. Or does anyone have anything else they'd like to say? All right. It is time to vote. You can confirm, submit, or change your vote. Or if you're looking to play your shot in the dark, that would be the time to confirm as well. In the meantime, we're live in the VL. And good luck.
Hello, VL.
So
I
many
have
hugs,
wine.
DL.
This is probably dangerous, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Shout out to Mickey's podcast. That's an all running joke from our season. And it's a shame I couldn't do that joke with Mickey actually here.
Shout out to Dynamic Character Productions. Watch their current season. It is airing on. They have After the Snuffed on Sundays, episodes on Mondays and Thursdays. Fun cast.
Shout
Wait,
out.
what is this?
Dynamic Character Productions.
I need to look that up.
I can
Shout
send
out
you a link.
to my
Shout out to
nastiest.
Nala.
That was disrespectful.
You
Shout
had
out
to,
to my
Al.
nastiest, stankiest, most disgusting best friend in the whole world, Derek. You're trash.
Oh my
With
god, I thought you were
actual
talking about
shame or
me.
just like an inside joke stuff.
I thought you were gonna say shout out to the most
Oh,
disgusting.
shout out to God, but also Jesus.
I feel like that's somehow blasphemous, actually.
It's not Justin Bieber said it at the VMAs.
I know, but I'm saying if someone said like that's an actual heresy belief.
I almost forgot about it. Thank God.
Julie Chen would approve of
And
this.
also Jesus.
And also Jesus.
Shout out to my prod guest David. I love you to death. Shout out to my therapist. I might need to call you after the season is over. And Jesus.
Don't forget God.
Yeah, what
Jesus
about
is
God?
God though. Holy Trinity.
Don't tell Bieber that.
The word Trinity is banned from Distortion Survivor.
Well, I'll see myself out.
Thinking about how that triggered Billy.
That is such a fight or flight response. I will not lie to
Was that,
you.
were you in the like weird like Devil's Game one based on that anime thing?
No, I was on production and then was removed through a dancing video, pretty much.
Oh, how your production? How you remove production for a dancing video?
Was it obscene?
It was basically a YouTube video saying about how they needed to do bigger and better things, and that involved revamping the production team without telling me ahead of time and streamed to the viewers.
Honestly, justice for Trinity.
That's what I'm doing at the end of this season.
Um,
Applying for Trinity.
Anyways, no, tap dancing, telling Billy he's leaving. Anyways, I have the votes, and I can confirm that there were 0 shot in the darks played this round. So that means there will be 8 votes in the urn. I'll read the votes. First vote, Brandon. Second vote, Jared. Third vote, Wesley. Fourth vote, Jared. Fifth vote, Jared. Sixth vote, and the 6th person voted out of Distortion Survivor All Stars, Jared. Jared, if you have any final words, now be the time to say them.
I knew what I tried to do would potentially lead to this, but the amount of frustration that was truly felt by, I'm just going to speak for Brandon and Rachel and I, of the radio silence this round was crazy. We were completely, at least for me, I was completely left unread a couple of times. So that's why I tried to make the push that I did. Production, like, I'm forever grateful that you took a chance on me in season 1, allowed me to get 4th place, become the original player of the season. I wanted to play All Stars ever since I got voted off season 1, and so grateful that you gave me this opportunity. I wish you all the best, and I was really like I didn't want to make the move that I did, but we were just getting nothing, and I it was just frustration. So I get why you did it, but I don't regret it.
All right. I'll start. So Jared, like I said, I recruited you when you were an early boot in your CTC season. And I knew that I wanted to get some fresh faces to play Distortion, and I'm so glad that you accepted that spot in season 1. You were able to make it all the way to the end, get cut right at the end. You, like you mentioned, you are our OG player of the season. And I'm just super thankful that I know you're not super involved in the org community on our space, but I'm super glad that you took the chance and said yes to us. Without the people in season 1, there would be no season 2. There would be no, obviously, and I know like that's like how that works, but you get what I'm saying. But I'm super thankful. I know you've been waiting for this a long time. I'm just super glad you said yes.
Jared, you have absolutely been one of, if not the biggest supporter of Distortion Survivor since you played. Even though you're not on this side of the community, we would see you in chats commenting, talking about Distortion Survivor. And that is honestly one of the biggest things that I can be really appreciative of, just because right now, like genuinely, like you helped grow Distortion into what it is. You sat with us through our hosting mistakes and helped us basically be better hosts and to get to this point where we're able to host a 9th season and an all-star season. So you are the original player of the season. You definitely left your mark again here. You, like you said yourself, you tried to do some things. Obviously that thing didn't work out, but you got to keep your head held high. We really appreciate you coming out to play again, even though it has been so long, but we will always appreciate you in this space. And you know, you have a home here if you ever want to talk.
Jared, the only thing I could say to you now is I'm only offering this to you. I will pay for your therapy bills.
Finally.
That being said, unfortunately, the tribe has spoken. You may leave the Zoom.
Bye, everyone.
Well,
All right.
congratulations, everyone.
You guys made it to the final 14.
Who got voted out? Do we get to know?
Yeah, do we get to know?
Yeah, we'll announce it in a minute.
Well,
Wait, so question. Do we get
can I spoil it?
Did Jared get 15th or 16th?
Both. Yes.
15th/16th. I knew y'all were gonna do that because you did it in season 5.
That's not an answer.
I don't care.
They're gonna mark it as 15th/16th.
Technically, in a case like this, we would give a placement. But in this case, it would usually go to whichever tribe performed better. But ultimately you both failed at greed.
That makes sense.
So you are both Jared.
I mean, both tribes performed very well in the not being greedy. It is a deadly sin, Seb.
Oh, okay,
Greed
and
is a
exactly
deadly sin.
No, exactly.
There's